prefixes. Suffixes are used at the end of a word. They have limited meaning. Okay, am I starting again? I've got no idea what I'm doing here. I do apologize. So I'll start from the top again. So suffixes, unlike prefixes, they're used at the end of the word, not at the beginning of a word. And there we go, we have success. They're limited in terms of what they mean or the meaning they give a word. They primarily tell us what type of word we're dealing with. Is it a verb form, is it a noun form, or is it an adjective form, or an adverb form? And we saw that suffixes, we can use more than one suffix in a word. Now, before we continue, anybody watching or online at the moment, I urge you to participate. You know, it's not a lesson without students. It only becomes a lesson if you interact with the lesson itself. Outside of that, it's just a video that you can watch anytime. So if you're here, no matter how many of you there are, don't be afraid. Don't be shy, make mistakes, mistakes are wonderful, and get to know each other here up online. You'll learn more from it if you interact. So we have noun suffixes, and below I've given you a list of suffixes that we use with nouns, but what I want you to think about at the moment is, if I just put this up from current slide, what I want you to actually do at the moment, have we got enough there? Okay. What I'd like you to do at the moment is just think about, do we use these prefixes, do we use these suffixes for people, or do we use them for describe things? So noun people or noun things. I'll go through some of the pronunciation for you. So this suffix here, er or or, you know, I often find Turkish students have problems with this pronunciation. We often get this teacher, photocopier, this esh sound. It drives me crazy. English is a non-rhotic language, which basically means we don't really have an R sound. You know, it's more of an R, it's back here somewhere. We don't produce R's by producing sounds like you do in Turkish. So it's not or, it's actually both of them actually. We have and here we have too. Now, this one doesn't really have any pronunciation per se, but we can just call it nts. And as we saw in the previous lesson, this suffix here, we have that same sound, the sound that we were discussing at the beginning of the lesson. Not eon or on, So we've got and we've got Going back to in American English, they have, still it's non-rhotic, there is no R. But they do sort of pronounce half an R. So American pronunciation would be like teacher, In British English, it would just be teacher, And down here we have Here, we would like to think that this is pronounced meant, but it's actually pronounced munt. Then we have ist. Make sure to get online. Welcome everybody who's here. Okay, hey Adam, welcome back, brother. Nice to see you here. I'm sure there's more people online too. If you're online, even if you don't participate, it's polite to say hi. So just let me see how many people are watching this. And of course, please participate. There we go. Please participate. You know, as I said earlier, it's not a lesson if you don't join in. It's only a video. These are online lessons, so participation is essential. Going back to the suffixes down here, meant, it's not pronounced meant, it's munt. Then we've got ist, ship, it's a very short I, ship, ip. Then we've got ism, and then we've got t, not ty, t. That y there is actually pronounced like an I sound. And then we have another one here, shun. Shun, not shian, shun. We've got that same sound. munt, shun. Here it's not nes, it looks like it's nes, the pronunciation is nus. But we've got that same sound again, that schwa, that sound. It's the most common sound in English language. It's not hard, like the Turkish highly yapamıyorum. You know, from here, it's actually from here, from the back of our mouth. So it becomes munt, nus, shun. One more time. Munt, shun, nus. And here it's not age, it's idge, 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 idge. Okay, so let's have a look at this one first. Hey Gonja, welcome back. Nice to see you here. Hello, Captain Ersan. Are you really a captain, Captain Ersan? I'm curious. Tuba, alaikum salam. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the class today. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. I'm sure there's more people out there. Say hi. I know you're there. Okay. If you don't say hi, I'll get your email addresses and I'll come and say hi. So the first one here, ER. Do we have any idea if it belongs for noun people or noun things? I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that. Yeah, Big Brother is watching you, Ardan. Hey Umit, how are you? There you go, Soydan Sormaz. There you go. Fear. Fear's the way you control students, apparently. You helped me a lot about my English. Thank you, dear teacher. You're very, very welcome to anytime. Any help I can be. You know, basically, that's what I'm here for. That's what any of our teachers, that's what Just English is here for. We're here to help you and see you through difficult times, you know. So, you know, as long as you're getting something out of it, we're very, very happy. We're very, very happy. So ER we can actually use for people. But we can also use for things. We can use it for either. For people, it shows a sort of profession. I'm not going to talk too much about the meanings of all of these prefixes. We'll look at the notes shortly afterwards. But, you know, people who do things. So a teacher teaches, as it were. Producer produces. And then we have things which have function. I don't know if I have, well, there you go. That's one example. You know, it's a very girly lighter, I suppose. But we have a light, lighter. Okay, we've got that its function is to light stuff. And then we have these here, disgusting things. I do apologize. They're brand new, never been used. So here we have now, what does it do? It clips. So we have now clipper. So, and we also have like photocopier. What does a photocopier do? A photocopier photocopies. So here they basically show, of course, this suffix as well we use with adjectives and comparative structures such as bigger and smaller, larger. But we're not talking about that today. I've left that suffix for more of a grammatical suffix as opposed to a meaning suffix. And we do have two basic types of suffix. We have those which I don't know, how can I explain it? I'll explain it later. So what about unts? Any ideas? He's on board now. He's also a captain. Wow, we have a real life captain on board. That's amazing. On board as well. Okay, hopefully you're not driving and watching this at the same time, Captain Ersan. That would be dangerous. So, what about unts? Where does unts belong? Well, unts actually belongs over here on noun things. We'll look at some examples and other stuff a little bit later, and some of the, I'll give you some notes on the meaning of these. You know, we also have as in production. We have munt, which is over here as well. We'll talk about this meaning and some of the words or examples of it a little bit later. What about this one here, ist? Do you have any ideas? Does it belong to people over here, or does it belong to things over here? I'll give you a little while to think about that. Well, hopefully you said people. Very good, Arda. We use it over here. And if you can give me an example. Oh, we are stay at anchor. Okay, that's good, Captain Hassan. You stay there. You stay there. Yeah, we use it for people. Welcome, Azime. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I think I recognize your name. So what about ship? What do we use ship for? The next one. Do we use it for noun people or do we use it for noun things? Let's get rid of my camera for a short while. I'll be back. Any ideas? We use that for, again, we use it for noun things. Ship. We'll talk about that meaning later. What about ism? Does that belong to noun people or does that belong to noun things? Well, it belongs over here with noun things. Again, we'll talk about the meaning of ism a little bit later. The next one is T down here. Does that belong to noun people or does that belong to noun? Very good, Azime. Ship, noun. They're both nouns actually. So you need to actually say, is it a noun people or noun things? Because we're dealing with noun suffixes here. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Sorry, Azime, your messages are coming up a little bit later. There's a 15-second drag between broadcasting and actually getting your messages. So you have to bear with me. So T, any ideas? Belongs over here too. Belongs with noun things. So let's go down here again, the pronunciation. Shun. We've got munt, shin, and nus. They all have the same sound. Noun people or noun things. Minel Korkmaz, that's a very good example. Yes, friendship. That's good. Patriotism, that's another example. And thank you, Mr. Captain Hassan, it belongs to noun people. And of course we have things like politician. What about ness? Going down here. Not ness, nus. Even I make mistakes. Does it belong up here with noun people or noun things? And I think Azimez already answered. And yep, it goes for noun things. Well done. And then we have finally ij. Where does ij belong? Noun people or noun things? Happiness is a wonderful example. We'll be coming back to that example a little bit later. We've got plenty of examples coming. And I think, Minel, yes, friendship's a great example too. Well, ij belongs to noun things. Thank you, Arda. And we'll come back to the meaning of ij a little bit shortly. But, you know, as I said, a lot of these prefixes, a lot of these suffixes, you know, some of them have general meanings, but there's always going to be an example. Yes, Tubas Selam. Yep, very good. Patronage, an example for this. Wow, Adam, did you eat a dictionary for breakfast? You're doing very well. You must have enjoyed your language literature classes at university. So let's go to the next one. Let's have a look at some notes for these. So as I discussed before, ER or OR is used to discuss a person or thing that performs a particular activity. So we looked at teacher, we also looked at stapler. I'll just open up the camera so you can see me for a little bit. I like to look at you when you're looking at me. Then we have ist, and of course, sorry, we have the photo examples, photocopy and producer. Then we have ist, which has a basic meaning of to follow a practice, a philosophy, or a political ideology. Of course, a lot of these suffixes have other meanings too. I'm just giving you the main basic meaning of these suffixes. I don't know, ist, for example, we could also use for certain pathologies, certain illnesses, such as narcissist. You know, a narcissist coming from narcissism, meaning, I think the narcissist plant, nergiz çiçek in Turkish, but you know, the narcissist, someone who loves themselves. Narcissism. We also have alcohol and alcoholism. So I'll put up an example for here for philosophy or political body. We have feminist. Then we had shun. And this means belonging to, and it's used with some professions too, such as statistician. Dilim dönmüyor bugün. Then we had unts below, and unts means basically having the quality or characteristic of, and we have an example there, defiance. If someone is, if an act of defiance is someone who is defiant, you know, they go against something. Then we have which is used for verbal actions or resulting state or product of states, such as discrimination. Then we have ment, means to express the means of, such as government. Then we have ship, bruv. Can you close the door? And then we have ship, sorry, my housemate. Then we have ship, which means to having the quality, the condition, the status, the skill, and we even use it for some groups, such as companionship. Then we have ism, which is the ideological movements or of some actions. And if we just look here, ist and ism, they are in fact intrinsically related with each other. If someone is a communist, then they believe in communism. If someone is an idealist, then they have an idea of idealism. Idealist, fascist, fantastic, realist, another good example there, well done. And then we have, come on, where's Gonja gone? Gonja, I haven't seen anything from you since the beginning. And Soydan Solmaz, where are you? Start answering the questions. Get online. Come on. What is this? I want to see full participation, not just one time, not just the hi and go. Answer the questions. Then we have T. Sorry, an example there was communism. Then we have T, which shows a quality or condition, and an example of that is the word itself, quality. Then we have ness, which shows state or condition, and we mostly form these from adjectives, not always, but mostly from adjectives, such as happiness. Then we had ij, which shows the action, the product of, or the quantity of. That quantity is actually important. The damage, the product of an action. If something's been damaged, then it's been broken. That's the product. There we go. Tightness, reality. Sorry. There. Thank you, Miss Gonja. Thank you for joining. There we go. Wow. All right. So let's go on to some practice here. So what I basically want you to do here, is that okay? We'll have a look in the shoe. I think. Oh, okay. I can keep the camera there. So we got teach, type, beauty, ideal, invent, clinic, special. But we got that sound again. Special, not special, or special, special. Then we got ranch or ranch in American English. Then we have perfection. We got that sound again. Perfection. This is going to be an example of a word that needs two suffixes instead of one. Then we have program. Then we've got electricity. Then we have invest. We have build, yield, build, not build, ill, build. Then we have natural. We've got that sound again. Like cool, as in natural. Then we've got advice, and then we have mathematics. So what do we use for teach? Sorry, fly. What do we use for teach? We have teach, teacher, sound. Then we have type. You have to be a little bit quicker answering the questions, boys and girls. I've given you plenty of time. Very good, Ainus. Well, Ainus, were you here before? Welcome. Yes, Ainus. Teacher, very good. Sorry, teacher Dinja. I thought you were talking to me. Yeah, teacher's a great example. Is the correct word, yeah. Thank you, Azima. There we go. Now, what about type? You're 15 seconds behind already. Be quick. We've got 15 seconds between live feed and here. So answer quickly. I've given you plenty of time. So what do we have for type? We have typist. And that E's fallen from that. But we're not concerned with spelling today. That's not the function. Very good. Very good. Well done, Gonca. Very good, Aynur. Oh, Adem, typer. Neslihan, mysticism. I don't see mystic up on the board, Neslihan. On the screen. What we're doing here. So the next word's beauty. What do we use for beauty? I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Ah, welcome back, Mr. Umit. No one? Okay, it's beautician. Beautician. And ideal? I don't want examples, I want answers. Beautifier. Wow. Keşke öyle bir kelime olsaydı. It's a nice word. What do you do? I'm a beautifier. I like it, actually. I like it a lot. And with ideal, we have idealist. Thank you, Miss Aynur. You're the first, top of the class now. Gonca, idealist. There we go. Very good. Excellent. Well done. Thank you for your participation. And Mr. Captain Eren, say Ersen. There we go. Idealist. Whoa, there we go. Boom. What about invent? Come on, just as quick. Invent. Inventor. And I think I got there before you lot. You know. Or Adem spelt with an O, not an E. And thank you, we have clinician, we have specialist. There we go, that's more like it. Come on. Inventor, keep it going. Inventist, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Yep, very good, Mr. Adem. You don't need to apologize. Mistakes are good. What about ranch? Don't just write one answer. Write all of the answers. For ranch, we have rancher. Again, it's not ranchesh, it's rancher. It's not teacher, it's teacher. It's not inventor, it's inventor. And for perfection, we have very good, Gonca. We have perfectionist as well. And what about program? Any ideas? We have programmer. Okay. And very good. Well done, Gonca. And we have perfectionist. Well done, Ersan. Yep. And electrician. Wow. There we go, Gonca. You're on fire. She's like a suffix professional. We have electrician. And then we have investor. Whoa, look at her go. Thank you, Gonca. Keep it up. We also have builder. Boom. Yes, Gonca. Keep it going. Naturalist. There we go. Well done. Excellent. I'm really enjoying this now. Then we got advice. I don't know where to look. We got investor. We got builder. Okay, electrician. Advisor. Yeah, well, it's advise. Almost correct, Mr. Adam. It's advisor. It's an OR, but very close. We had to change it to the verb form first to make that noun form. And then finally, thank you very much. Boom! We've got mathematician. There we go. I'm going to have some water. Vodka would be better. Okay, so let's have a look at noun things. I'm going to go through the prefixes below. You don't need to listen to me now. Listen to me later. What I want you to do is look at your screen and quickly find the noun form for each of those words. Don't do it one by one. Take a piece of paper, take a pen, and write those down, and then get writing on chat. I want everyone to participate. This is amazing. Okay. And I'm sure there's more people watching than the people I've got on the chat. So if you're just watching again, get on chat and participate. So down here we've got unts, we have we have munt, we have tea, we have ship, we have ness, and there we go. We've started already. Slowly, we're on fire. Okay, let's go through this. Membership, excellent. Kind, do we have kind? Kindness, well done, Gonca again. And tuba salam, well done. Real, well, for real we have two actually. We've got realism, but we also have reality too. They're both possible. We have movement, very good, Gonca. Membership, I think we've passed membership, but still very good. There we go. Improvement. What about human? humanity, where we can use humanism in psychology, and we also have humanity, the idea of mankind. We have slow, one by one. Biraz pişman oldum ha. So we also have election, break. Anyone got break? It's a hard one. Break is a hard one. Very good, Mr. Ersan. Wow, Gonja, yeah, breakage. It's a difficult one, though. You know, breakage, it's a hard one to explain as well, but I used to work in a bar. So, of course, when you work in a bar, you work with glass. And glass costs money. So we would count how many glasses that broke throughout the day. And we put that number down. That number was known as breakage. The quantity or the act of being broken. We have intelligent. I think we've got intelligence there. Well done, Adam. Look at you go. We also have alcoholism. We have, what about permanent? Does anybody have permanent? Well, permanent, Benden Olsen, you've been fantastic. Very happy. Gonja. Really? Happy? Now they get you again. We have permanent. And then we have, what about mile? Permanent's very good, Gonja. And what about mile? Any ideas? Think about quantity. If we can count the miles, if we have something like in a car, it counts the miles. What do mileage? Very good, Soydan. Excellent. Well done. Well done. And confuse, we have confuse. I'm still waiting. Confusion. Oh, mildty. Mileage was the correct one there. I am afraid. Well, you got most of them correct, Miss Gonja. You know, you're doing very, very well. We have confusion and leader, of course. We have this idea of community or groups with leader, and that becomes leadership. And then sudden, bit of a strange one. It's leadership. Very good, Azime. Well done, Ainur. Excellent, Soydan. And then we also have suddenness, the act of being very sudden. Adem, you've got a bit quiet. Where are you, bruv? Come on. Where's Captain Ersan? Özgenur Korkmaz. I think she's new. Then we have improvement. There we go. Very good. Well done to both of you, both Soydan and Captain Ersan. First one's there. And well, there we go. Ainur meant going for the short answers. Very good. And then we have equality as well. Okay, so let's move on to adjective and verb suffixes. So I don't know why this has happened, but that's okay. I don't need to close the camera. So again, I'm going to give you a few seconds, you know. I'm going to keep on talking. I'm going to go over some basic pronunciation, but again, you don't have to listen to me. What I want you to do is look below at the suffixes and put them into the correct places. So I'm going to go through some of the suffixes and their pronunciation. And again, this is for adjectives and for verb suffixes. So this, it looks like N, but it's not. We've got that sound again, that same sound, un. Then we have if. Then we've got unt, not ent or ant, unt. And this one looks like it should say fool, but it's not. It's full. Then we have eight. We spoke about this earlier. So, you know, if you were listening, you should be able to answer this one correctly. And also, I think I mentioned this one as well in the first half. So we have us. Here it looks like it should be pronounced able or ibble, but it's pronounced ubble. We've got that same sound again. I don't want to keep on repeating this, but that sounds very, very important. Ubble, not able, not ibble, ubble. Then we have ifi, very short I here. Then we have eyes. A little note on this is American English. I don't know, I prefer the American spelling, even though I'm from London. Well, I'm originally Irish, but you know, I grew up in London. So this one here, the Z sound, no, eyes, like specialize. It's got Z. In British English, it's I-S-E. And to me, it doesn't sound like an S sound. It sounds like a Z sound. It's not specialize. It's specialize. So I like the American spelling here. I prefer that. And then we have not all, like practical. And then we've got ik. And then we have not less. Can you guess what the sound is? It's that same sound again. Us, lus, lus. So there, wow, look at the answers. I did not expect this. You are absolutely diamonds. Seriously. Wait, I'm trying to control the other computer with this mouse. Sorry, I need to use my fingers for this. So yeah, equality. Well, there's some the great. Okay, you've given me some great examples, but my question is, my family's from Dublin. I was born and bred, unfortunately, in London, but my family, they're from Dublin originally. They moved there before I was born, which is why I've got this horrible English accent that I can't get rid of. So what I asked you to do is put these into the correct position. So N, what do we use N for? Again, don't just put up one answer. Feel free to go through a number. It's really not important. So N, I'll do the first one for you. We use N with, or N, as it's correctly pronounced, with verbs. And if, we use, of course, with adjectives. Oh, no, yeah, it's actually a verb form. We make it, Gunja, before you go, you're sort of going up on the screen. You know, we do, if it's any consolation, we do use it to make verbs from adjectives. You know, so there's an adjective there somewhere. And then we have ent, which I've put in the wrong place. Ent, actually, I'm sorry, boys and girls, you know, I spent ages preparing this. I've made a bloody mistake. That ent here should actually be over here. Oh, no, sorry, adjectives, sorry. Kafam karıştı. Okay, I'm doing verbs and adjectives. I'm not doing nouns and adjectives. Then we have full for adjectives. And over here for verbs we have eight. And then we have us, which goes over here for adjectives. And then over here, of course, we have ubl. We discussed that earlier, ubl. So I did give you the answer before that. There we go. There we go. And then we have the suffix e-fi. Any guesses for e-fi? E-fi is used for verb forms. And then we have eyes. Verb or adjective? Very well. E-fi, actually, Captain, not bad. Not bad, but it's actually, e-fi is actually used for verb forms. And eyes is a verb form. Thank you, Adam. So I think we know basically what the rest is going to be. Ul is going to be an adjective. Ik, of course, is going to be an adjective again. And less or less in terms of pronunciation, when we put it hopeless, it's not hopeless, it's hopeless. It goes over here with adjectives. Okay, so let's have a look at some notes. So N means to create. I've missed an E here, damn. So it means to create or intensify a state, and we generally make this from adjectives. So haste, hasten. White, whiten. Black, blacken. Eight, we'll give you an example there, brighten for example. And then eight we use for a process or a development. Again, these are just basic general ideas. You know, you're always going to find a word which is an exception, a word that's being used in a different way. You know, but you know, generally, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, it's going to have this meaning. And we have their discrimination as an example. Then we have eyes, which means to make or become, and popularize, to make popular, for example. Then we have e-fi. Ooh, here we go. Wow, coming up with some nice vocabulary there. Aynur, enlighten as well. Enlighten's a nice one. I like enlighten. Then we have e-fi, which means to make or produce. And we have an example there, qualify. We have unt, which means a state or an occurrence of an action, and an example there would be fluent, the state of being fluent, the state of fluency. Then we have full, and full means having the quality of delightful, having the quality of delight. Delightful. If something's very pleasant, it's delightful. Maybe we can use it for good news. You know, oh, they found a cure for corona. Oh, how delightful. You know. When we have ik, having the quality of, such as terrific. And don't forget here, we have that negative root, ter. But the word actually has a positive meaning now. Terrific means very, very good. Then we have lus, which means, it's actually the opposite of this one here, full. Lus means lacking the quality of, such as brainless. Couldn't think of another example. If you can think of some better examples, please put them up on there for me. It's the only thing that came to mind today. Then we have if, tending to or having the nature of, such as destructive. We have us, meaning having the character of, such as fabulous. Then we have down at the bottom, meaning related to, such as practical. And then we also have finally able and able, which means having the ability of, can or cannot in the negative form if we're using a negative prefix. And here edible, ed, to eat. Edible, something which can be eaten. So let's go to some practice. So again, whilst I'm talking about stuff, I want you to focus on the vocabulary in front of you and use the correct suffix for each of the words. I'm going to give you about maybe 20, maybe 30 seconds. Don't just do one, do all of them. So we got unt, if, full, us, ik, ul, lus, and ubel. We'll go through the words as well. Heart, nature. Yeah, the noiseless door. I know, man. I know. It's my housemate. It's a lot of noise. It's unbelievable. And then we have, where's my mouse? We have nature, athlete, mystery, help, impress, intelligence, comfort, courage, use, enthusiasm, motion, tradition, change, permanence, and attract. So there we go. Okay, there we go. So let's start with heart, heartless, very good. We have nature. Did we have nature up there, anyone? Natural, very good. Who was that? That was Tuba. Where's Ganja gone? Ganja come back. Then we have athlete. Did we have athlete anywhere? Athlete is athletic. Oh, heartful. Actually, Captain Atten, yeah, heartful is possible. You know, meaning coming from the heart. A heartful plea. Maybe we'll come back to that later. Mystery. We have mysterious. Ooh, not bad. Mysterical. Almost. Helpful is correct though. Tuba. We have helpful and helpless. They can take both. So being helpful, someone who likes to help people, and helpless is slightly different actually. Helpless, it's not the same. So helpless means to be in a difficult situation. Çaresiz, I think the Turkish word would be for that. Whereas helpful would be like yardımsever or something like that. And then we have impress, impressive, well done. There we go, Adam. Very good, Mr. Ersan. And then we have intelligent. I'm sure we had intelligent there somewhere. Oop. Okay, benden olsun, ne olacak? And then we have comfort, comfortable. I'm going to stop here because the pronunciation is important. It's not comfortable. It's comfort, that same sound, table, comfortable. Practice that word. It's a word that, and I think maybe if I have 10 students, at least 6, maybe 7 students have a problem pronouncing this word. I'll say it one more time. Comfortable. Then we have courage, courageous. Well done, Adam. Then we have use. And here we've got useful and useless. They are pretty much opposite now. Very different from this one here, helpful and helpless. We've got helpful, helpless. We have enthusiastic, very much like you today. You're all very enthusiastic students. You've made me very, very happy. Welcome back, Gonja. There you go. Nice to see you back. Enthusiastic, spot on. And with motion, we have Aynur, Any ideas? What about azime? That's a nice example, azime, actually. I'm comfortable. It's not fartable, though. Got to be careful. Motionless. Very good. And then we have tradition. Emotional. I'm afraid not. Maybe in the word emotional, that would be correct. Then we have traditional. Then we have changeable. Then we have permanent. And finally, we have, of course, we should know this, attractive. So we'll quickly go through these because I don't know, it's about 1:45. I'm going to go on for another 5 minutes. I'll go on for another 5 minutes. I'll have a quick drink of water. Okay, so if you could all look at your screen, we've moved on to verbs. And here we have the 4 suffixes that we had with verbs: un, is, ate, and efi. And whilst I'm doing this, I want you to start answering. Yep, very good. So we've got dark, final, final, just, separation, short, intense, investigation, industrial, different, identity, light, glamour, person, sweet, liberal, and demonstration. And let's have a quick look. So dark is dark, darken. We're doing darkness would be the adjective form. Darken, here we're using the verb form. We've moved on to verbs. And final is finalize. Just is justify. What about separation? Darken, finalize, very good. Hey, Mina, you've come back. Neslan, where have you been? Yaya? I think I know Yaya. I think I might know you. I'm not sure. We also have separation. Ooh, not separationize. Separate would be the correct one there for verb. And the noun form would be separation, but not separationize. Then we have shorten, very good Adam. And what about intensify? Jeff up there, Adam. Then we have intensify, Ben and Orson. Then we have investigation. Look at that suffix here, shin. Take that suffix away and we have investigate. Industrial. Industrialize, very good Adam. And then, here. And then we have different. It's a difficult one, this. Differentiate. We've got some slight changes in spelling here. We'll talk about that another time. Differentiate. To be able to tell the difference between two things. So if you imagine two twins, identical twins, sometimes when you look at them, you don't know which one is who. It's difficult to differentiate between the two. Then we have identify, and we have light, lighten, because of course, like dark here, if we look at this dark and light, what are they? They're adjectives, aren't they? Darken, lighten. Then we have glamorize. Then we have personify, which is a word you looked at the beginning of the lesson with, who was it? Adolf Hitler. He is the personification of evil. He personifies evil. We can actually use the verb form there. We have sweet, again, sweet is an adjective, so it becomes sweeten. And then liberal, to make liberal, liberalize. And then we have demonstration. Again, have a look at that suffix shin. Just take that away and we have demonstrate. Okay, so that's going to be the end of today's lesson. Next week, we're going to continue. We'll finish off practicing suffixes a little bit more because practice always makes perfect. That will be lesson number 2. And then that will be lesson number 1 on Friday next week. And we'll do some basic quick revision. Please come. Everyone who was here today, I want to see you next week as well. I've got your names now, so I know where you live. And then in the second lesson next week, maybe the end of the first lesson, and in the second lesson, we'll start putting all of this information together. All of the prefixes that we've learned, all of the roots that we've learned, and the suffixes that we've learned today, and maybe some extra ones that I can just chuck in for you. We're going to be looking at vocabulary and trying to understand vocabulary just by those word parts, you know. So that's the aim of next week's lesson. Have a wonderful and safe day, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful day.